And I want to show you two quick things. Number one, I want to show you how we already know how to do this. All right, we could multiply x minus 6 times x minus 6. That's how you could write it. All right, so I want everybody to look at that. Now we have to multiply this out. So again, we're going to do a little shortcut here. All right. Now I want someone to tell me what is x times x. X squared. Okay. Remember what I said. All right. Listen, I'm not into playing around right now. All right. Now you do two smiley faces. This right here is how much? And that's negative 6x. Then if I do this smiley face, how much is that? Negative 6x. And then we're doing negative 6 times negative 6, which is what? Positive 36. If you do this correctly, the middle term always appears twice. It always appears twice. So this becomes x squared minus 12x plus 36. This right here is called a perfect square. The reason it's called a perfect square is because two things, exact same things, multiplied together give you that answer. And what is that? What two things multiplied together give me this? Thank you for listening. X minus 6, exactly. X minus 6 squared is x squared minus 12x plus 36. All right, go ahead, Jackson. I don't care. Hurry up. Go. That's the only way to get 36. Yes. Yeah, you're doing this times this and this times this. All right. Now I'm going to jump over to number 3 real quick. No, the problem is now you're sharpening your pencil, you're not paying attention, and now you're behind. After problem 1, you're already behind. And that's not funny to me, but it is to you. All right, now we're going to do 4x minus 5 the long way one more time. All right, so I want everybody to write down 4x minus 5 times 4x minus 5. All right, so here we go. What is 4x times 4x? 16x squared. That is correct. 16x squared. Then the smiley face, how much is this? Negative 20x. How much is this bigger smiley face?
Negative 20x.
And finally, negative times negative is a positive 25. And then what did I tell you about the two middle terms? You always be able to add or subtract them. That's correct. Negative what? Remember, when you're adding, you do not add exponents. So that's what I have. 16x squared minus 40x plus 25.
What do you do because it's square? Oh, no.
You with me? When you square it, you write it out twice. That's what I did. Okay. So 4x minus 5 squared is the same as 4x minus 5 times 4x minus 5. Jackson, you all caught up now? What?
I didn't know if it's perfect square though.
Okay. Sit up and listen. All right, here you go. Watch. What's 5 squared? 25 is called a perfect square. Right? So this is what? A perfect square. How do I know it's a perfect square? Because I just multiplied the same thing together. You with me? All right, that's a good question, actually. All right. So now I would prefer everybody to be able to, and this is how you're going to do it now. What did I tell you was true about the middle term? It always occurred what? Twice. So let me show you how everybody should be able to look at this and just say, that's obviously 4h squared plus 12h plus 9. Your teacher will think you're crazy if you can do that. All right. And everyone is expected on this worksheet just to write the answer. If you forget the pattern, you can just do what? Yeah, write it out the long way. Okay, so I don't care if you know the pattern, right? I just think it's nice when you can just look at something and tell me what the answer is. All right, what?
How to do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to show you. All right, so here we go. All right, now to know that, all right, it's a simple rule. All right, notice this is square, right? So you have to tell me what is 2h squared? 4h squared. That wasn't hard. Now, the middle term, please watch. The middle term is always this times this. What's that multiplied together? 6h. And then I always remember the exponent, multiply it by what? Multiply it by 2, because it's always occurs twice. All right, now please don't be stubborn. Just look up in the board and pay attention for a minute, and you'll dazzle yourself. All right, so the middle term, what's 2h times positive 3? Positive 6h. And then what's positive 6h times 2? Positive 12h. The reason why I'm saying positive 12h is because I want you to know it's positive 12h. Look, I don't want to look up Trey and see you messing around. Okay, I just don't. He's, struggling a little bit. I'm trying to help him out, and I don't want any distractions. And now you always do what to the last term? Square it. So what's 3 squared? 9. It's super duper easy. All right. So you square the first term and you square the last term. That goes there and that goes there. The middle term is always the product of these 3 numbers. 2 times 3 times 2. That's 12. That was easy. Okay. Now let's see. Logan, tell me the answer to number 7. A squared. Beautiful. Now multiply this together for me. What's a times 3? Times 2. Yes, plus 6a. And then tell me what 3 squared is. There you have it. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Misha Martin, number 9. Thank you. Square the first number.
Yes, x squared.
Beautiful. Exactly. Now don't be confused just because you got a harder one. What's
5 xy?
And then times?
And then times 2.
Yes. So what's 5 times 2?
10.
So it would be negative, good, negative 10xy. And then you have to square the negative 5y.
So then it's negative 25, positive 25.
That's correct. Positive 25 what? Positive 25 y what? Shh, leave her alone. Squared. Positive 25y squared. Now, I really, like I said, I really can't help you. That is simply a what? Just a pattern. Every single time it works. What did I tell you were supposed to do with this and this? I'm just asking you a question. No buts. What did I tell you to do to this and to this? Right. So what's 1 times negative 5? Times 2. That's how I got it.
So you just ignore the parentheses?
I don't know what you mean, ignore the parentheses.
Because like if it was negative 5, like, oh, never mind, I'm thinking square.
All right, here we go. For number 11, Zeb. I don't know what right means. I want an answer. Just try and I will correct you as we go. That's it. There's nothing hurt. If you get it wrong, completely butcher it. I don't care. I'm trying to find out where you're at. What do we got? 64. Beautiful. Square the first term, multiply these two things together. What's that? Times. Yes, sir. Plus 16x. Then you square the last term. That's it. Come on, that is not that hard. It's not that hard. It's just a pattern. Every time it's the same pattern. All right, Eddie, see if you're listening.
4x squared,
Beautiful.
and then negative 16x, and multiplied by 2 is negative 32x.
You are amazing.
And then you just square that, so then that's positive 64.
Wow, thank you for listening. Very good, very good. All right, and then 16 times 2 without a calculator. Amazing. 15. All right, try, Jackson. So,
Square M squared.
so what, when you square m squared, there was a rule, power to power, we do what? Shh, no one's asking you. All right, no, you don't add, but in this case, multiplying and adding ends up with the what? Same answer, so you can't miss it really, but it's power to power is multiplying. So this would be m to the what? M to the 4th. Now, come on, the middle term. What would that be? Shh.
So 2 and
Say it.
the 4th.
No, you're just multiplying these two things together. What's that?
Oh, negative 2m.
Square, just squared. Then you're multiplying that by what?
Square.
That's not a square anymore. Multiply by 2. What is that?
Oh no, 4 to the 4th.
Times 2. You're just multiplying this times this times this. That's it. So negative 2 times 2, what's that?
Negative 4
Negative 4, what?
M squared.
M squared. Then square the last term.
2 squared is negative 4. The last one.
But when you square a negative, it becomes a
Positive, so plus
+4.
4.
That was hard. And that's why I'm fussing at you guys. All right. Jackson, you're doing 17. A little bit harder even. What is that squared?
So you have the times it's 2h.
Close. You didn't square 2. What's 2 squared?
4h to the 4th.
There you go. Getting better. 4h to the 4th. Now, what is this multiplied together?
2h
All right.
squared.
And then times that by 2
Squared. 2hk squared.
times 2. What is that?
4hk squared.
Now, is it positive or negative? Because this is negative. Negative 4h squared k squared. Then what?
80k squared squared.
Which is?
K to the 4.
Right. Come on. If you would just sit there and do them over and over, it has to sink in. But if you're distracted, it's not working. All right, Trey.
19 x squared minus 8y 8y to the 4th.
I don't have it.
8x, I'm sorry.
Come on. 8.
8x 4.
Nope.
Okay, so then times 2.
Stop.
I don't know.
I see that. Multiply these two things together. What's 1 times negative 4?
4
What's 1 times -4
-4,
times 2?
-8.
That's where I get this number. Now, put the variables in there.
Okay, then. Wait, what do you mean with the variables in there?
What comes after -8? The variables. And
Why?
why what?
Why to the fourth? Why would, okay, why wouldn't it be y to the fourth?
Because I'm not squaring it. I'm multiplying.
Okay,
Now, what's the last term? Come on now.
4y.
You're,
squared,
yeah, you're squaring that. What is that?
8y to the fourth,
What's 4 squared?
16.
Then,
16y to the fourth.
come on now, get back on track. Focus, concentrate. No excuses. All right, here we go. 21, Jolie. And some, unless you have a problem. Hold up.
I thought you don't square the one in there.
Okay, I need everyone's attention one last time because I got a semester to try to help you. All right? It doesn't matter what you think, it matters what the answer is. So you're trying to correct your thoughts, right? Are you asking me how I got this middle term?
Yeah.
Trey, explain how we got the middle term.
You multiply the 3 together, x, and then the -4y squared, and then the 2.
Right, is the square a 2 in this context?
Yes,
Is the square, I'm sorry, is the square a square in this context?
no.
No, you're
multiplying it.
right. That's what I need you to understand. Thank you for listening. You're multiplying it by 2. All right. So the middle term is 1 times -4 times 2. That's how I got the -8.
Oh, thank you.
And then the x and the y squared just carry down, right, Trey?
Yep.
All right. All right, Jolie, you got a tricky one now because you got a fraction. So tell me, what is 2/3 squared?
I got 2/9.
Close. What's 2 squared?
4.
And what's 3 squared? No, you were right. 3 squared, 3 times 3,
Oh, no.
right? So your mistake was you didn't square the numerator and the denominator. So let's do 4/9, and then what's the variable?
X squared.
Right. Now, of course, everybody has trouble with fractions, but not Jolie. Jolie, what's 2/3 times 2?
I got
Look,
4/3.
yes, thank you. And then times 2 again.
16.
Wait a minute, 4/3 times 2. You're multiplying by 2, not squaring.
So it's 8
Yep,
over 6.
8 over
3.
3, 8 over 3. So now is it going to be positive or negative?
Or I mean that one's negative.
That one is negative. So it's -8/3 x. And now you just have to finally do what?
+4.
+4. All right, now does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Anybody else have any trouble with that? Okay, those are called, the answers are called perfect squares. Now, this is called the difference of squares. All right, difference in math means what? Subtraction. And then the 2 terms will be squared. All right, or they will be perfect squares. So let's look at 23. All right, so we're going to go back to the old school. All right, Molly, we're going to go, what's P times P?
P squared.
Good job. Then we do the smiley face. What's this guy?
-P. -2P.
Well, I see a positive and a positive.
2P.
Right, positive 2P. Now I want you to do this over here. How much is that now?
-2P.
There you go. And then finally,
And then -4.
exactly.
And then
Now, Molly, what do you notice about these 2 things right here?
they cancel.
So what's my answer?
P squared -4.
Right, so now you understand why this is called the difference of two squareds. Is 4 a perfect square? Yes. Is p squared a perfect square? Are you doing subtraction?
Yeah.
That's why it's called the difference of squares. What?
How did you get the -2p?
Are you having trouble with p times -2?
But
P times -2 is -2p. 2 times p is positive 2p.
Is it a difference of squares because this can't go out?
Well, it's really the difference of squares because p squared is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square, and there's subtraction between them.
Why is it subtracted?
Because a positive times a negative is a. That's where I got the -4 from. Okay, Evan, let's see what you're doing here. 25. We're going to do one more, and then I'm going to show you how simple this one is also.
4x
Perfect. 4x squared
plus 2x
minus
minus 2x
2x, and then,
plus 1.
nope. -1 times,
Sorry.
what is it? -1. Does it matter if you do the big print or the big smiley face or the small smiley face first? No difference. So now what happens? The two middle ones cancel out. So you're left with 4x squared minus 1. Beautiful. 4x squared minus 1. Okay. So does anybody see a pattern now with these? What happens? Yeah, the middle term will always do what? The middle term always cancels if what's in the parentheses is exactly the same. One positive and one is what? Does it matter if the first one's negative, the second one's positive? No. So everybody should be able to zip this out real quickly. I got one more quick question. Go.
How is -1
1 times 1. No, it's not. It's subtraction. You see, technically you're right. It's -1. You with me? But again, it's 1 times 1 and then the negative out in front. Okay. So that's another good question. Okay, here we go. Oh, come on now. Brennan, don't let me down now. You've been paying attention. All right, go. What is my answer? Now we can do the shortcut if you want. What's the answer?
M squared minus 5m plus 5m
And then,
minus
beautiful. So what happens? Final answer.
m squared minus 5m.
Now, if you are brilliant, do I need to put the middle step in anymore? No, because you know they're going to do what? Cancel out. Are you allowed to put the -5m plus 5m?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just means you're kind of not paying attention. All right. You're allowed now to leave that step out, is what I'm trying to tell you. All right. And it's a pattern problem. All right. So Maya, 29, just tell me the answer.
9.
9. You're amazing. That's it. All right. 31, go. Yeah, me.
Y squared minus 16x squared.
You're awesome. Thank you for listening. Reese, don't be confused by all the letters. Go.
9 squared minus 4b squared.
You're amazing. Thank you. Easy, 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 easy patterns. Patterns. All right. Luca, 35.
X to the 4th
Yes, sir. Thank you for that.
minus x.
What's going to happen to the middle term, Luca?
You're gonna cancel.
So 4x squared or x to the 4th, what? Luca,
Yeah.
It's just these two multiplied together and these two multiplied together.
Mhm. And then -1.
Yes,
So x to the 4 minus 4.
because the middle term does what?
Cancel.
Cancels. Nice. Now get 37 done, Luca, before Ali does it. Okay, smarty pants.
X to the 6th minus 4.
Wow. X to the 6th minus 4. All right, here we go. 39, Ashley.
1/16 X squared.
Wow, super great. Super great. All right, if anybody needs me to stop because it's a fraction and you don't know how to do fractions, it would be better to correct fractions in class. Thank you, Ashley. That was good. And finally, 41. I'm listening.
4 squared minus 25.
Now, let me just say something real quick because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Well, that's not entirely true, but these are all just what? Patterns. Literally, you can do this worksheet probably in less than 5 minutes if you know the what? If you know the patterns, right? If you know the patterns, use the patterns to your advantage. Your teacher next year will think you are crazy because most people can't do that. I don't understand it. It's the same thing over and over. All right, it's just a pattern. If you forget the pattern is a big deal. No, because you just have to do it the long way. You just have to multiply them out. That's it. All right. But really and truly, I really want everyone done. All right. Some of you guys are so smart. You just work while I'm working and now you're finished. I don't have a problem with that, but they better be what? They better be right. All right. And then don't bother other people. I'm trying to help people. All right. That are having a little bit of trouble. I don't want you interfering with those people. All right. Get your work done. And if you want me to check something real quick, if you're not 100% sure, speak up. Evan, what? What did you get?
I got 9 plus 6p plus p squared.
Minus 6p.
Oh, it's minus 6p?
Why? Because the middle term is negative, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good for you. Zeb, 38 real quick. What are you thinking?
I thought it was H4 minus K4.
Yes, you're brilliant. What?
Oh, what did you get?
H4 minus K4. All right, nice job, guys, really. Nice job today. All right. If you're finished, don't bother people.